Now at Target 12 Investigators exclusive. 5 years ago this month, lawmakers approved RhodeWorks, a massive plan to fix the state's roads and bridges.
Today, the state is dotted with these signs for the $4.7 billion program. But is it meeting the goals that were set out when it passed?
Target 12 investigator Ted Nesi has been combing through documents and getting answers from the head of the DOT. He joins us now with the exclusive story.
As Governor Gina Raimondo prepares to leave office to join the president's cabinet, the success or failure of RhodeWorks will be a key part of her record.
In May 2015, Rhode Island leaders gathered under a decaying 610 connector bridge in Olneyville to announce RhodeWorks, a $4.7 billion infrastructure plan.
If we get this executed, we're projected to reach 90% structural sufficiency of our bridges in less than 10 years.
After months of wrangling, Governor Gina Raimondo signed RhodeWorks into law in February 2016. The final version called for ramping up spending on transportation, paid for by borrowing and tolls on large commercial trucks. Target 12 reviewed 5 years of quarterly reports issued by the Department of Transportation to see if the bridge repairs are on track. They show steady but slow progress. Only about 75% of Rhode Island bridges were structurally sufficient when RhodeWorks started. Today, that number is up to around 80%, still well below the governor's 90% target with only 5 years to go.
We turned the tide, and the number of deficient bridges has been going down steadily.
RIDOT Director Peter Alviti points to this chart his agency put out back when RhodeWorks was being debated, forecasting bridge conditions would be right around where they are now. He's confident the goal will be met, especially once the massive 610 connector project is done.
If we had not done RhodeWorks, we would never be able to rise up in the ranks of structurally deficient bridges. In fact, we would fall so far off the bottom, we would have had to started closing highways down.
All that work hasn't come cheap. Budget documents show RIDOT's annual spending soared from $394 million in 2016 to over $600 million today. Alviti says more than money has changed.
Another commitment of RhodeWorks was changing DOT itself. So he put into place a project management structure which kind of like blew apart the original management structure of DOT, replaced it with project management.
So what about the most controversial aspect of RhodeWorks, the truck tolls? Coming up new at 6, I'll have the latest on a federal lawsuit that could shut the tolling program down. With the Target 12 investigators, Ted Nesi, 12 News.
Now at 6, we continue our in-depth look at one of the governor's signature programs, RhodeWorks. It's been 5 years since state leaders approved the massive plan to fix the state's roads and bridges. The most controversial element of that plan was a new network of truck tolls across the state. New at 6, its future is still the subject of a legal battle. Target 12 investigator Ted Nesi joining us live now with the exclusive details.
The RhodeWorks truck toll program got off to a slower start than expected, but now it's bringing in millions of dollars. Yet all that money could disappear if the trucking industry wins in court.
When Governor Gina Raimondo announced plans for a major new infrastructure program in 2015, few people doubted the need, with Rhode Island's bridges consistently ranked worst in the nation.
We'll be going from 50 out of 50, some of the worst roads and bridges, to 90% structural sufficiency. That's something we can be proud of.
But there was plenty of disagreement over how Raimondo planned to pay for it, with a new program of truck tolls on large commercial vehicles.
Those costs will be passed on in the form of higher prices for practically everything.
5 years later, Rhode Island's bridges are slowly improving, with the share classified as structurally sufficient rising from 75% to roughly 80%. As for the truck tolls, 11 gantry locations are now operating, with the rest on track to start collecting later this year.
The good news is that it is doing precisely what we wanted it to do.
RIDOT documents show the current tolling locations are taking in more than $2 million a month, and RIDOT Director Peter Alviti says he expects the program to meet its $45 million annual goal once all 12 are up and running.
It's tolling the vehicles in a manner that's fair and equitable.
But the trucking industry has fought back in court. In 2018, they filed a federal lawsuit arguing the tolling program is unconstitutional. Rhode Island Trucking Association President Chris Maxwell declined to answer questions for this story, but the case is moving closer to a trial. State lawyers are currently fighting efforts to subpoena Governor Raimondo and former House Speaker Nicholas Mattiello.
What happens if RIDOT loses that? Do you have to take them all down and abandon? Can you no longer meet the plan?
Well, look, I've said from the beginning that that is not something that we anticipate.
With Raimondo on her way out to join the president's cabinet, I asked Lieutenant Governor Dan McKee whether he would support extending tolls to passenger vehicles should the trucking industry win its lawsuit. His office said he has, quote, no intention of doing that. With the Target 12 investigators, Ted Nisi, 12 News.